And I want to irritate all the right people, all the people that we all find uniquely irritating. And it's this permanently offended, snowflakey, cancel culture mob who descend like a pack of hornets on anything they can get themselves into, trying to suppress everyone's right to an opinion, trying to tell us all how to think, how to act, how to laugh, what to find funny, what statues to revere, what parts of history are acceptable, what parts aren't, and so on.
Piers Morgan has never been one to shy away from controversy, and his recent battle against what he calls woke madness has captured attention worldwide. Whether it's taking a stand against teaching children about 100 genders or questioning the overreach of rainbow flags in public spaces, Morgan has become a vocal critic of what he sees as the absurdity of modern culture. The gender debate. Identify as a penguin. One of Morgan's most memorable moments occurred during a discussion about the BBC teaching children that there are over 100 genders. Among these was astrogender, described as an affinity with stars and galaxies. Morgan, in his signature satirical style, declared in that case identify as a penguin.
But it is difficult, but I think making...
But it's not difficult until you make it difficult. You see, the BBC has done teaching videos to 11 and 12-year-olds where they say there are 100 genders. One of them was astrogender, which is an affinity with the stars and the galaxy. My response to that on the last show I did was to say, well, in that case, I identify as a two-spirit penguin. I was then told I was being ridiculous, but I made the same point.
His point was simple. The idea of teaching children such concepts is, to him, utterly ridiculous. He questioned the logic of exposing young minds to concepts that many argue are confusing and unnecessary. There aren't 100 genders, he said bluntly. It's absurd. While some labeled his comments as harsh, others saw it as a much-needed reality check.
The ridiculousness is the BBC teaching kids there are 100 genders. There aren't. It is absurd.
The rainbow flag controversy. Morgan also took aim at the growing prominence of the rainbow flag, particularly during Pride Month. He criticized its placement of national symbols like the Union Jack or the Star-Spangled Banner, arguing that it undermines national pride. Why do we need a rainbow flag everywhere? He asked, pointing out the lack of equivalent recognition for heterosexual identity.
Right, the moment it looks like it's just over the top, like it's everywhere you go is pride, 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 pride. Do we need to be that?
Straight people don't need a flag to validate their existence, so why should any sexuality? He added. To Morgan, the omnipresence of the rainbow flag has become less about inclusion and more about overshadowing symbols that unite the entire nations.
By the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag.
Well, I'm triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight
Where's
everywhere?
my straight flag?
Why am I constantly getting straight?
Where is my straight flag?
Why are straight people holding hands in the street?
When have you ever seen a straight flag?
Why has Mickey Mouse got a girlfriend?
Tell me one straight flag.
Self-identification gone too far? The conversation took a more heated turn when Morgan questioned the logic behind self-identification. He provocatively asked, "Why can't I identify as a black lesbian?" This rhetorical question highlighted what he perceived as the absurdity of unrestricted identity claims.
Why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was...
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, why can't I on International Women's Day say, I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
Morgan cited the case of a male rapist who claimed to be a woman to gain access to a female prison only to exploit the system and harm vulnerable women. How can we keep letting this happen? Morgan asked, emphasizing the dangers of prioritizing ideology over safety.
We've literally just seen a male rapist use that scam to get himself put into a female prison where he could attack vulnerable women inside a female prison, when even his ex-wife said it was all a scam.
Vegan activists. Where's the logic? Another issue that Morgan tackled was the radical actions of vegan activists. From vandalizing priceless art to disrupting daily life, he argued that these stunts do nothing to win people over. In one heated exchange, he challenged a vegan activist, saying, "How does vandalism persuade someone like me who loves eating meat?"
Won't need any of this gruel. Let's put that to one side, but I will have a bit of steak just to...
You didn't salt it though.
You see, all you've achieved is you've made me want to do this. Just eat a lovely...
That's absolutely fine.
To drive his point home, Morgan cheekily ate a steak on live TV. He also highlighted the hypocrisy of these activists, pointing out their indifference to the environmental harm caused by some vegan practices, such as the killing of bees to produce avocados. How can you claim to care about animals while laughing off real harm? He asked.
Several billion bees get murdered. This is a bee. Right? That's a bee. That, last time I checked, is a living animal. Billions get slaughtered so that you, sitting here, pontificating in between smashing up our buildings, so that you can have your almonds and your avocado.
Men in women's sports. A fair fight? Morgan also voiced strong opinions on the contentious issues of biological men competing in women's sports. He asked whether it would be fair for someone like Usain Bolt to compete on a women's track team simply because they identified as female. It's utterly ridiculous, he declared, arguing that physical advantages cannot be erased by transitioning. Where do we draw the line? Piers Morgan's critiques of woke culture have sparked widespread debate. While some view him as a necessary voice of reason, others accuse him of being dismissive or inflammatory. Yet Morgan's message remains clear.
Can Erling Haaland, if he says, I now identify as a woman, play in the Norwegian national women's team? He's a massive beast. He scores goals every 10 seconds in the men's game. Are you happy?
If you suddenly decided to become trans, go through all of the horror,
actually, you don't have to go through anything.
Just self-identifies as trans, deals with all of the pushback on social media.
Common sense must prevail. What do you think about Morgan's take on the whole woke culture? Is he raising valid concerns, or is he simply fueling controversy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more unapologetic takes on today's hottest topics.